Hi everybody, welcome to week 4 of your virtual piano lessons. I hope you're all okay and keeping safe and well. Can you believe it's week 4 already? Crazy. So we're going to start off this week with something a bit different. I am going to do our call and response warm-up, but it's going to make it into a piece. So let's find our thumb on middle C and let's find our G in our right hand on your 5th finger. And we're going to play this. So that's G, F, E, D, F. Can you play it back? My turn. Ba, da, 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 da. My turn. Your turn. Da, 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 da. My turn. Your turn. Ba, da, 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 da. And then there's another snippet to do, which is easier. Can you find those notes? La, la, la. That is E, D, C. It's like 3 blind mice, isn't it? 3 blind mice. So the first thing is G, F, E, D, F. Let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to play that 3 times. So let's do it together after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we play the other bit. E, D, C, and. So we put them together. 3 times the first snippet and then finish off with 3 blind mice. E, D, C. So let's do it after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How was that? I'm going to use my metronome this time just to make sure I'm totally in time. Like I've said before in these videos, I spend 90 to 95% of my time practicing with a metronome. So we're doing a different time. I've always done the same with you. It's crotchet equals 92. So 92 crotchet beats per minute. Actually, in the piece that I'm playing from here, it says 100. But we're going to go in 92 a little bit slower. So 3 times through the first snippet, finished by the 3 blind mice snippet once. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blind mice, and again. And 3 blind mice. How was that? Was that okay? So if you need to rewind it and just practice that bit again, that's absolutely fine. So it's a piece that I love. It's called Make Way for the King, and it's by Pam Wedgwood. So we're not going to look at the music. This piece is from a book called Upgrade, grades 0 to 1, and I usually give it after the pupil's done their grade 1. This is a really quick piece to learn for most people, and they all love it. It's one of those pieces that most of them want to play in concert, so hopefully you're going to like it too. So I'm going to play the left hand this time. The left hand has an introduction of 2 bars, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you'd come in playing 3 times our first little snippet, followed by 3 blind mice, and then the same thing again. And then there's a whole middle section that I'm going to play alone. And then when you hear that again, and I'll bring you in, we'll do it again. 3 times through, followed by 3 blind mice, 3 times through, 3 blind mice, and that's the end of the piece. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Let's just go through the snippets one more time. The first one is G, F, E, D, F. Let's just play it back. Me first. Your turn. And the other one is 3 blind mice. My turn. Your turn. Great. So here we go, the whole piece. 2 bars of left hand playing introduction, followed by us all playing together, and then there's a whole middle bit, and I'll bring you in again after those 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. that was good. I love that piece of music. Actually, very easy to learn by ear, isn't it? So hopefully you got on well with that. I'll put it on YouTube as well, and I'll send you the link. Just like I have sent you your PDF for this week. So the first page is talking about, if I can find it, about accidentals. So whether you play the violin, viola, piano, flute, trumpet, harp, saxophone, whatever, singing, it is all the same, accidentals. So I've asked you 2 questions and we're going to talk about them. What are accidentals? So accidentals are, hopefully you know, and I'm not just going to tell you, sharps and flats and naturals. Naturals is one that people forget. So what does a sharp do? Hopefully you all know that. What does a flat do? That's the opposite. And a natural cancels a sharp and a flat out. Okay, so you should be able to work those out for now. And key signatures are a way of collecting all the accidentals up and putting them at the beginning of a piece so you know what to play throughout the whole piece. So say you have written in your piece, or a composer has written F sharps, and they want it to be in G major, which has 1 sharp, F sharp. Instead of writing a sharp sign in front of every F in the piece, they just collect them all up together and they put them at the beginning of the piece. And let's see if I can find you an example. Here we go, in a piece called Orange Soda. Can you see? There's your sharp there. So every time you play an F in that piece, you've got to play an F sharp. But you can also see there are other accidentals in it. So that's telling us that we need other sharps or flats in that piece. So key signatures are a way of collecting those up. And the order of sharps and the order of flats is always the same. F is always the first one, whether there's 1 sharp there or 7. It's always the first one. And the second one, some of you will know, is C. So the second sharp is always C. And there's a way to remember this. You should know this. I tell my pupils this from the beginning, so they're always sure of it. Father, join in if you can. Father Christmas gave Dad an electric blanket. Okay, so the first sharp is always F, the second sharp is always C, the third sharp is always G, then D, then A, then E, then B. So if you come across a piece of music and it's got 4 sharps in it, you don't have to panic, you don't have to think, oh my goodness, what are they? You can just remember, Father Christmas gave Dad. F, C, G, D. You always know you're going to play those sharps. So that's the order of sharps. The order of flats is, can you remember it? Blanket, exploded, and Dad got cold feet. So blanket exploded and Dad got cold feet. B, E, A, D, blanket exploded and Dad, G, C, F. So I just went through it in my head because I'd forgotten then. And the good thing is that they're backwards. So if you can remember one of those little rhymes, you can remember the other. They're just the same but backwards. So if you've got 1 flat in your piece of music, it is always B flat, blanket. If you've got 6 flats in your piece of music, it always starts again at number 1, blanket exploded and Dad got cold. There's your 6 flats. So Father Christmas gave Dad an electric blanket, blanket exploded and Dad got cold feet. So hopefully you can fill out what these sharps, flats and naturals actually mean. And the second piece is always 12-bar blues. So last week we learnt the brilliant bass line, and I hope that you managed to play it through with your right hand as well, either just playing single notes or chords, etc. So we're going to learn a famous version of 12-bar blues this time, and it's called Sea Jam Blues. I have done this with some people before already, and I very often do it with classes. I've done it on boom whackers, we've done it on xylophones, chime bars, because it is a really easy thing to learn. And it goes like this. Let me just set the metronome. So 2 bars in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then it does it again. Let's play it with the bass line. And great. The pieces that you are learning, or rather the piece that you are learning, we've been learning it now for 4 weeks. So that's the average amount of time that I would expect to give a student a piece of music and for them to come back and play it pretty well. Obviously, if it's a bit harder and it's a bit more of a push on for you, it might take a little bit longer. That's absolutely fine. So maybe you've learned line 1, maybe you've learned all of it. Who knows? Maybe you've even got onto your second piece. It really doesn't matter because we all learn at different stages. And it's a bit of a funny time, isn't it? How much are we practicing at the moment as compared to normal? Who knows? But whatever you can play, whether you can play one line of it or the whole piece, I want you to perform it. So performance is a different thing to practice, isn't it? In our practice room, we're working on notes and rhythms and hands together and dynamics and storytelling and musicality, etc. We've made sure that we've got everything right so that there's no wrong notes, there's no wrong rhythms, and we're telling our story and we're making sure that we're using a good technique and all those things that we practice alone. So we're going to perform it now, and I'd like you to find a way of performing it, whether it's to Teddy's or your fish or your dog or your cat or your grandma via Zoom or whatever it may be. I'd like you to go and find a way to perform it. You're going to introduce it. I'm going to play I Ghioni by Ian Audi, something like that. And you're going to smile and you're going to look happy, and you're going to prepare by taking a deep breath, getting ready at the piano, and just imagine yourself playing it to the best of your ability, and then play. Just enjoy it. And remember that mistakes, wrong notes, even stopping, it really, really doesn't matter. We all make mistakes. Professionals make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It doesn't matter. But if you can play and tell somebody your story of your piece, that's the most important thing. And at the end, you're going to stand up and you're going to take a bow. So you might feel a bit of a fool, but it's really important to practice bowing so that you don't feel like a fool when you're doing it in front of an orchestra or an audience. An audience is what I meant to say. And those of you that have done concerts with me before will know that I say hippopotamus. So hippopotamus is a really good length of time to bow for. So you're not head banging and you're not breaking your back and not being able to stand up. But for goodness sake, don't say it out loud because you look like a right Wally. Say it out loud. Good. If you can send me a video of you performing, even better, or put it on Flipgrid. Brilliant. And the last thing I have given you to do is some theory. So it's all about note reading this time and giving you the confidence that you all can read your notes, you do know them, and if you don't know them when you're starting a new piece, you have all the tools to learn it and to work them out. Even if you need to write them in on every single note, that's totally cool. So let's finish by playing Make Way for the King together. Instead of me playing you a piece, you're going to play it with me this time. So remember your little snippets, the first one. And the last one was nice and easy. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.